Okay, another day, another Leetcode. We're going to be doing string to atoi, atoi, string to integer. Okay, it's a medium question. Implement my atoi. String s converts a 32-bit signed integer. Converts a string to a 32-bit signed integer. Okay, cool. Algorithm for is as follows. Ignore leading white space. Okay. Determine the sign by checking if there's negative positive. Okay. Read the integer by skipping all leading zeros. So 42 is 42, okay. Negative 042 is negative 42. Okay. So it's basically just saying check if it's negative, check if there's leading zeros. Okay, so first let's start by breaking things into pieces. I don't know if all of this together is a lot, so I'm just going to do it piece by piece. So let's start with getting rid of white space. So is there a trimming function? Getting rid of leading white space in Python, lstrip. Ignore any leading white space. Okay. lstrip. Okay, let's look at another source. Trim a string in Python. Okay, let's see. Strip. Trimming leading and trailing white space. So strips gets rid of it on both. lstrip is, I guess, left strip, so leading, and then right. But the instructions say ignore any leading. Okay, so I'm just going to do what the instructions say. It's not my job to do what the instructions do not say. So let's call temp possess. Oh, it's already built in, so it's .rstrip and then I guess .lstrip. dot strip dot r strip. Okay, so I'm just go dot l strip. Then determine the sign by checking if the character is negative or positive. So first I want to get rid of trailing zeros, any white space. Then I want to turn this into an integer. But if we look here, so let's say we trim all the white space on the left side. If there's a letter, check if the character is a num in Python. Is a number, is numeric. String dot is numeric. So if the first character of the string is not a number, because now we've gotten rid of all the white space, now we got to check. I'm like playing with my mustache. I'm gonna have to shave it tomorrow. But this is what I'm gonna do next. So first I stripped off all the white space from the leading side. Now I'm going to check if it's numeric, the first element. If not, return oh, so there's another easier way to do this. Let's go to Python Playground. So let's show you guys a trick. So go to Python Playground. First I want to clear whatever the hell's in here. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do first. X equals string. First I'm going to print x. Just want to see what it does. Then I'm going to print x as an int. Okay. Times 0 dot is numeric, so x is numeric. True. A CR object is known as numeric. Okay, so if I go int okay. How much time do I have? Okay, I'm at 12 minutes. Okay, so if I'm at this, so is numeric. I was thinking if I could just check if the whole number converted to an integer even works, and if not, so I can't typecast. I'll strip. The first character is numeric if it's false. No, this is numeric. It is numeric. Okay, so eliminate leading zeros. That's my next step. Eliminate leading zeros, Python. The int function. Oh, you just outstrip again for zeros. Okay, so let's do that. Just test it on Python Playground. So let's do this first. 000 space. So let's get rid of this. What if I chain it? Can I chain it? I'll strip again. This time I want to get rid of the 0. Nice, you can chain it. This is awesome. Okay, so you can chain it. So what I'll do, lstrip 0, so I get rid of any oh wait, but that comes after. Okay, so then string is digit. Okay, let's try this. So go to Python Code Playground. Let's go 100. True. Okay. If I go negative 100, is that still true? False. Okay, so that could change things. Is digit. Lstrip is numeric. Okay. Okay, so I'll put negative. I need some sort of indicator to check if the number is going to be negative later. Then I'm going to check for a sign bit. So if So after I get rid of all the white space, I want to check, is the first item a sign bit? If so, the one to the end. So if the first thing is this, if it's positive or negative signed, the first element, I want to see if negative is true or not, else if it's positive, should still be the same thing without the negative equals true. Return the slice without that first element. Then I want to see, for example, if it's 42, get this. The next thing I want to check is if it's a non-digit. So once I check if the sign bits are there or not, I know I'm good to go. So get rid of the white space, see if the number is negative. If the number is negative, make it true, get rid of the sign. Number is positive, get rid of the sign, that's it. And this stays false. Okay, now the next point is then just check if, using isDigit, if the number is a digit or not. If not, return 0. So if temp.isDigit equals false, return 0. Otherwise, then we know it is a digit, because it's going to look at the whole string and check if it's a digit, like over here. And like we did in Python Playground, if you even have a negative sign, it's going to be false, unless it's pure digits. So if I go 110 D0 false. But so if it even sees anything in the string that's not a digit, you get a false. So I'm going to do that, isDigit. Equals false, return 0. If not, I come back to the negative. If negative, and then I just return, now I get the int temp. So I got all this. Now it's the last part, rounding. If temp if temp is greater than 2 to the power of 31 minus 1, return that value. If int temp is less, so if it's greater than the upper limit, round it. If it's less than negative 2 to the 31, then make it 2 to the 31 negative. And then otherwise just return the int. So basically remove the white space, we did that. Okay, determine the sign, okay, we did that. And if there is a sign, add the negative back if it's a temp. If it's not negative, then just leave it as is. Then check the limits, negative 231 and 231, and then just return the value. Return the integer as the final result. So all you have to do is just follow the steps, try running it. Case 3, output 0, CD03. False. If I get rid of the sign bit, still false. Okay, so what? Okay, so it passes all the cases except for this. So this has to read each number and add to the string. Okay, so if this digit is false, I'm going to start counting. Because somewhere along the line, it's not correct. For char and temp. So if char dot is digit, I want to find the first point at which there is no digit. So 1337 code, C is that first point. So I'm going to go char and temp. If char is digit equals false, break. It breaks out of the loop. So I'm going to go break. So 1337 break, and then if final is digit, so first I want to go I'm trying to figure out when the order is. So if it's before, if I have letters before the string, so let's say 1 through 7. Yeah, if temp 0, is a digit, equals false, return 0. Otherwise, count, find out where it's, otherwise it is a digit, and then for char and temp, find out where that point is and break it. And I'll say temp equals final. That's the thing, and then you go -2 to 31, and then this should solve for that. There we go. So basically what I did here was I created an internal string. So right now I have the original string s, and I'm working on it in temp, right? But when I want to look for a case like this, what it's doing is it does accept all the portions of the number first, and everything after gets discarded. So what I want to do is create my own internal string, see if the first item here is a digit. So if digit equals false, so this looks at the whole string. So this whole thing will be false. Okay, cool. If it's false, then I want to see, is there a good portion of the first half that's still a number? And if so, we want to take that number. So 1337, I want to take this. It's going to be my output, discard the rest. 1337. So I create a string here. Is digit. If the first item is a digit, then I know that I can keep going till I find the non-digit. Right, that's what this loop is for. Keep going until you find a non-digit. So 1337 C. Okay, non-digit, discard the rest. And now I have this stored in my final. So that's what I'm going to do if we have special cases like this. Otherwise, it's just going to go from temp. If it's already a digit, it's going to go check for the negative, positive, and then check for the bounds. So let's try submitting it. Runtime error. If s length is 0, then you just return 0. Try now. Should still pass these tests. Let's try submitting. So if len s equals 0, or if the len s equals 1, s dot is digit equals false, so if len s equals 0, or if len s and s dot is digit equals false, and if s dot is digit equals false, then return 0. We gotta spam the as digit basically everywhere. Okay, so instead of L strip, I'll just do strip. I should get rid of this issue. Okay, so I'll put this check after doing this. So what's called, I'll do this. It shouldn't mess with anything. If it's good, it shouldn't mess with anything. So why? I want to know what the output is. That's the thing. I don't know what I do for an empty string. Is this supposed to be 0, or is it supposed to be... It doesn't really mention that. So for example, if I do this, strip, right? Okay, let's get the length. Zero. Okay, so if you strip it, it becomes 0. I'll do another check again. You know why? It's because I was checking it on S instead of temp. Whoa, what's going on? Temp, 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 temp. Everything should be done on temp. Let's try now. Boom. Yeah, see, it's because I was doing it on S, the original string, so it didn't take into account the stripped items. Because if it was stripped in the beginning, this would already satisfy a ltemp equals 0, return 0. So I would have been redundantly writing the code. So this way, let's walk through everything first. So temp, right? I get my temp variable. So basically I want to take S, and all I'm doing is following the instructions. So get rid of any white space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip it. Strip any white space. Strip takes it out both sides. That just helps me if I have to manipulate this string later. I just strip. Instead of going L strip, just strip. So it takes off any leading or trailing white space. Then I want to check if it's 0. If the length now is 0 at the end, return 0. Because there's nothing. If the length is 1 and it's not a digit, it's also nothing. Return 0. Then, if it passes this, check if it's I have a negative variable created to store whether the item is negative or not. Right? So now I check if the first element is a dash. Okay, if it's a dash, it's negative. So I make negative equals true. And then I work on the number, the slice of the number without that dash. I remove the sign because I just want to do operations on the number right now. Same thing for positive sign. If it has no positive sign, it's assumed positive, so this stays false. And it passes this check. So now I want to see if I do an if check. So I do temp.isDigit. So now that I passed all these checks and I got rid of the signs, I want to see if there's if the entire number is now just actually a number, or whether there's letters buried in like this. 1337C00D3, right? And what I do is I just go as digit. So it checks if that whole string is a digit or not, right? Equals false. So if this digit equals false, and it's past everything after this, then it's like, okay, the first few numbers are still good. We have to find a place at which to stop reading. So I create a string within this if block, and I start is digit equals false. If the first element is false, right, then we know we don't care about the rest, right? So then you just return 0. If that's not, if it's like numbers, and then somewhere along there it's a letter, then I want to find out which point do I stop reading these numbers. So I'm going to go char is digit, is digit, is digit. So for example, 1337 is digit, yes, is digit, yes, is digit, yes, is digit, yes. And every time I find a digit, I add it to this final string. So is digit, yes, added to the final string. 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 So now I have 1337. Then C is digit. No, it's false. So this condition now breaks out of the loop, right? If I break out of the loop, I go to the next stage. Oh, temp equals final. Okay, so temp is final is 1337, right? And then I check for negatives. There's no negative. If it is, add it. Add that sign back. Then check the bounds. So 1337, it's smaller than both of these bounds. It's within the boundaries. So then I just return the integer version of 1337, the string. So right now it's a string because it's added to final. Final is now temp. And now I just typecast it to a string and we're done. So as you can see, passes all the test cases. And then passes the submission. And it beats 74.85% of other solutions. So there you have it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment below. Knologist out.